Why are we inside more than ever? And outside less? We play games, but not sports. We eat fast, and together less. We let our kids online, and don't let them walk to school. We listen to our headphones, and not to each other. What's happened to community? It's time to take it back.
We are the ones
who will always be there, opening doors to those who need us.
Bridging gaps so all are supported.
Loving others as we love ourselves.
Understanding the misunderstood.
Caring for those who are overlooked.
Making each community a better place.
Driven by a common cause.
We are the ones.
We are the ones.
Believing in each other's potential.
Helping the lost find their purpose.
making all feel equal.
As they learn and they grow,
In times of great challenge,
we will succeed.
For we are stronger together.
We are the ones.
We are the ones.
When neighbors need a helping hand, we will be a safe place.
inspiring the dispirited.
Encouraging the discouraged.
We will not wait for other solutions.
We will ask others to join our cause.
Placing the common good above ourselves.
For we are the ones.
Then, as we all do this together as one, we can and will change our world.
Well, it looks like everybody has just about found their tables and have just found their seats. So we'd like to welcome you once again. This is the 4th annual YMCA Community Awards Dinner. I'm Dave Bovito, and I'm honored to be your MC tonight. I was your MC last year. I was your MC the year before that. So I kind of like being here. It's a good gig if you can get it. Tonight we're going to celebrate how the Y is more than just a gym. And we're going to honor 3 dedicated individuals who share the Y spirit of making DeKalb County a better place to live. And then we're going to end our evening tonight with our keynote speaker, Dr. Robert Watts. And I'm excited to hear from him, and you'll be as well. So join me in welcoming to the stage at this point to get the program started, Kathy Countryman, the YMCA Board President, and Mark Spiegelhoff, the YMCA CEO.
Welcome, everyone, to a great evening. It's so great to see all of you. I was talking to Tana Kanesh for a moment, and our job was to be greeters. As we were standing out there, I said, no one here needs to be greeted because everyone knows each other, and it's such an awesome community, and we were able to meet some new folks tonight, and we really appreciate you coming. So on behalf of the entire Board of Directors, first I'd like to welcome you and thank you for coming to the 4th Annual YMCA Community Awards Dinner. It's great to see all of you again. We just have one piece of business we'd like to take care of. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our new mayors of our 2 of our great communities in DeKalb County. So if I could please have City of DeKalb Mayor Jerry Smith stand so we can recognize you, please. Also, if we could please have City of Sycamore Mayor Kurt Lang stand, please, and be recognized. We're super fortunate to have both of you with us here tonight, and I know both of you have already been involved in the community, and tonight we think you'll see some other ways that the Y has works for your communities. So in the video, I don't know if you caught the "We are the ones" statement that came across a few times, but it really resonates with me as we know that the Y is more to our community than just a swim and gym. And tonight you'll hear some great stories about that. We are the ones who really always will be there opening our doors and providing access to all. I think if you know that for the past 58 years, the Y has done that for our community. We have great programming, and today the Y offers programs like helping people reach their potential, whether it is swim and gym or whether it is with some chronic illnesses. So the youth programs, again, are another focus of ours, and as we move together tonight and you see some of the videos, you'll get to hear from one of our outstanding youth that's here this evening, and providing those leadership skills, and we know that she will carry those on and really inspire some other youth to do great things. So the Y really is more, and tonight as you walk away, I hope that you're shaking your head yes and saying, yes, the Y really is more. Welcome, have a great evening, and on behalf of the Board of Directors, again, thank you for coming.
Good evening, everybody. And I also extend a warm welcome. Thanks for coming out tonight. And just like Kathy said, the Y is more. I am in firm agreement with that. The Y is more, in part, because we recognize that it takes a community working together to create positive change. Tonight, among other things, you'll learn how the Y works to strengthen our community, and we will honor 3 outstanding local individuals who share our dedication to making DeKalb County a better place to live, work, grow, and thrive. I would like to recognize and thank our current YMCA board members for their work in moving our cause forward. So at this time, could I ask all the YMCA board members who are present to please stand and be recognized? So just so you're aware, all the proceeds from this event will benefit the YMCA annual campaign, which provides funding for the charitable work of the YMCA. Thank you again for sharing this evening with us and for your support of the YMCA.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, we would, and also thank you to the Y board members that are here today for paving the way for everyone that's going to the Y. Now let's welcome to the stage Dawn Rosnowski. She's from Northwestern Medicine, our premier sponsor for this evening. Dawn?
Hello. On behalf of Northwestern Medicine Kishwaukee Hospital, we are honored to be the premier sponsor for the Kishwaukee Family YMCA Community Awards Dinner. The YMCA and the hospital have had a long-standing relationship and a shared mission to improve the health and status of all living in the community. We recognize and appreciate the work that members of the YMCA do to help strengthen families through its healthy programs and activities. We have provided financial support to various YMCA programs and services, like the Arthritis Aquatics Program, Live Strong, Diabetes Prevention, and Camp Scholarships. Staff from the YMCA and the hospital's Community Wellness Department also collaborate to deliver programs to promote physical activity and chronic disease prevention, like Camp Power and Healthy Live Team Challenge. We thank the YMCA for their ongoing partnership and continuing to improve the health and wellness of our family, friends, and neighbors. Enjoy your evening.
Okay, thank you, Dawn, very much. We now invite you to join us for an invocation just before dinner, presented by our own YMCA's Reverend Bob Hanson. Where's Bob? There's Bob. Okay.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Good evening. I have a huge speech to make. Actually, I'd like to start out with a little bit of scripture because it's favorite and it's so appropriate for what we're doing. 1 Corinthians 6. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were brought and bought at a great price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. I am just amazed at how the body is constructed when you look at the eyes, you look at the mind, you look at how the body works, you look at the miracle of what it is. And I look at our bodies and I see that deep mystery, and I see also how they work together. And we need help to make the body work properly. And the YMCA is one of those special places where you are the captain of your body, but you have people, wonderful people, welcoming people who are there to help you with that. And I see people in our society who are trying hard to lose weight, get exercised, keep their minds strong, and live long. At my table, there is a man who is 99 years old. And this is what it's about. And our medical science is amazing today, because an old guy like me can get new joints. If I lose my legs, I can get new legs. If I lose my arms, I can get new arms. It's a marvelous society that we live in. Let's give thanks to God for our bodies. Dear Jesus, you are the greatest healer. You have touched the lives of many people, including the blind, the lame, the deaf, 10 lepers, cancer survivors like Dr. Robert Watts Jr. We are ready to be inspired by his story as one who found strength in weakness. Bless this social time we share at the 4th Annual Awards Dinner. The Y understands the unity of exercise, which includes the need of the body, mind, and spirit. Our bodies are the temple in which you dwell. Each of us is the captain of our own good health. We thank you for the staff at the Kishwaukee YMCA as they help us to be the best that we can be. May the Y continue to be a welcoming place for the rainbow of human family who seek help in caring for their bodies regardless of age, color of skin, or nationality. For you have placed humans at the top of your creation, called us your beloved, and created in your image. We ask you to bless all of those who serve this meal tonight, those who made it, and bless us as we share in this beautiful tribute of food which you have created for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Hanson. Okay, it's time to eat. It's time for dinner. And then after dinner, we'll have the rest of the program. Again, thank you for sharing this evening with us, and we'll be back in just a little while. We would like to welcome back to the stage Mark Spiegelhoff, the YMCA CEO. Mark?
Hello again, everybody. Just like Dave, I enjoyed my meal so much, I think I'm going to be looking forward to an extra long workout at the YMCA where I'm supposed to go. Thank you again for being part of this evening. Now I'd like to take a quick moment to recognize our planning committee who worked so hard to make this evening come to life. And they are listed in your program if you're interested. And also our YMCA staff, whose hard work, day in and day out, help all people who use the YMCA achieve their full potential. So would both the planning committee members and the Y staff please stand up at this time and be recognized. So great things happen when we all work together. We know that. Of course, none of this happens without financial support, and the importance of our donors and sponsors sponsors is pivotal to meeting our mission. That being said, I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for making this event possible. So first, I'd like to thank our premier sponsor, Northwestern Medicine. To our gold sponsor, the Bickner Family Foundation as our philanthropic sponsor, and Shaw Media for being our media sponsor. To our silver sponsors, American Realty for being our wine sponsor. You enjoy the wine. First Midwest Bank for being our EIP reception sponsor. Radiant Dermatology for being our speaker sponsor. Mind You Upstaging for being our stage sponsor. Thank you also to all of our table sponsors for your support. We need you as well, no matter what level you're at. And of course, thanks also to all of you for coming out tonight to support our cause. So as you know, helping all people achieve their full potential is the cornerstone of YMCA work. Sometimes we need to take our work outside of our walls and work with others to meet the needs in the community. Camp Power is an exciting example of how a collaborative program can be created and sustained. So through the following video, which you will see, we'd like to share the Camp Power story.
Simply put, the YMCA's mission is to help people reach their full potential. This holds true for Camp Power as well, where we can harness the collective energy of all these organizations for the benefits of the kids in this program.
We determined it was important to start a program like this in DeKalb because there's a large number of children that live in this immediate area and they weren't being served by the resources in our community. Got a lot of great resources during the school year, but then in the summer those resources stopped, and we know that recreation provides a lot of positive outlets and there's tremendous resources in DeKalb, and so we wanted to bring all those together to try to serve a population that was underserved.
Our curriculum for camp this year, really our goal was to give an all-inclusive feel of camp. So we wanted the academic portion, which we definitely hit with the NIU Literacy Clinic over at Emmanuel Lutheran Church. We have the nutrition and catch, which has all of our physical activity, moving our bodies. We do a lot of arts and crafts, so letting our campers be creative. You know, and we also have a lot of visitors that come and see us, which has been a great asset to our program and to our curriculum. So Girl Scouts have been with us. We have Marty from the library comes and does reading with us. We've had knitting. Again, we've had nutrition. We've had community gardens. A lot of different organizations have put their time into the curriculum that makes up Camp Power for the year.
It means community to me. This never could have happened if the University Village community didn't support this and say, yes, we want you coming into our neighborhood and providing a program like this. It couldn't have happened if the larger DeKalb community didn't come and volunteer to help do this. We run this program on a shoestring budget. If it wasn't for our volunteers, we never could make this happen.
The greatest outcome and the greatest positive that came out of the program is the relationship built between the residents and the police and the residents and the community. So many different bonds have been created that bring a whole variety of resources to the table. I also think it shows everybody that, you know, if we all pitch in, it helps solve or address a problem. It makes somebody's life better.
The memories that you create with camp. Leslie and I both have camp backgrounds, and it made up a big portion of my creativity when it came to other jobs. It was more of a personal thing for me, and also for being able to give back to my community.
As a parent, I like that I'm able to stay as long as I need to get the kids settled, and I like that the counselors are very hands-on, that they're also from the community as well. NIU students come out and volunteer their time to help the kids have a good summer. So that's what I like most about it.
One of the best things for me is when the parents will come up and say, my kids are asking for fruits and veggies now. You know, our refrigerator looks completely different. And that to me is exactly what we want to happen. We want to expose the children to new fruits and vegetables, or even sometimes they're very common fruits and vegetables, but that they just haven't tried that often, or just immediately think, oh, I don't like vegetables, but then find out, yes, they do.
You know, in my experience, I've never seen the DeKalb community come together for anything as large as this, with so many different organizations and so many different people giving either of their time or money or ideas. It's really exciting, and I think it means a lot, not only for myself, the Y, but DeKalb in general.
That's been a blessing for us. It's opened the door for us to do other things within our community. We couldn't have done it without your help.
I would like to say thank you to all the organizations who rallied around this program. Thank you for sharing your resources with us in order to serve the kids. Thank you for sharing your finances with us in order to make this program a reality. Thank you for helping us have these kids reach their full potential.
Thank you, Camp Power, for coming together to support our youth and make a difference in our community and make everyone feel accepted in this community.
Thank you, Camp Power, for helping me to zone in and kind of focus in on what is truly important to me with nutrition education.
Thank you, Camp Power, for giving these campers access to all the fun that it is to be a child, giving them access to a field trip, to people who care about them, to arts and crafts, and to the bigger DeKalb community that has shown them so much love over the course of this summer.
Thank you, Camp Power, for a great summer.
Thank you, Camp Power, for allowing the community to show that they care, for allowing us to come over, help you learn, come over to show you how to grow fruits, and to come over and to teach you what it means to be cared for.
Thank you, Camp Power! 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 Thank you, Camp Power!
That video was all the smiles on those children's faces. Huge smiles on every one of those kids. You know, you have to have a heart for work that brings out smiles like that for the kids. We have a couple of our video participants here with us tonight. Let's have a round of applause for Robin Holyfield and Sydney Gibson. Where are you, Robin and Sydney? Thank you so much for sharing your story with Camp Power. What a shining example of what a community can do when everyone works together. And what a great example of how our why is more. Thank you, Shaw Media, for a great video. You put together a great one. Next, I'm honored to introduce Dr. Levon Neal from NIU and Leslie Pepperman, YMCA Youth Development Director. They are going to present our Youth Leader Award, the first community award this evening.
Our community truly produces some amazing young people. And one of the best things about working at the Y is seeing those Y kids grow up and become community leaders.
Good evening, everyone. Such a joy it is to be here this evening. As I was looking at the accomplishments of the scholar we are going to honor today, two things came to mind. One is, clearly, this scholar believes that sleep is highly overrated. Show of hands, how many of you too feel that way? But what was really resonated with me was this scholar clearly realized and believed that intention without action is insufficient. Are you guys curious as to who this winner is? All right. But more importantly, the Youth Leader Award recognizes youth 18 or under. that have really made notable contributions in serving and improving DeKalb. First, I had to reflect on when I was 18. I took a moment. I couldn't remember that far back. But at the age of 17, our Youth Leader Award recipient is already a dedicated community servant. This young lady has served as Interact Club co-president and treasurer, multitasking, I love that, student council representatives, vice president of the Sycamore Public Library Advisory Group, on the swim team and prom committee, as well as serving on the Youth Engaged in Philanthropy program. Are you exhausted yet? She is a summer reading program volunteer, a bell ringer for the Salvation Army, participates in Feed My Starving Children, and volunteers at the Old North Grove School. And, oh yes, did I forget to mention that in her free time, she is on the math team, and she's the math team conference champion. Quantify that for a moment, will you? Our recipient was nominated by her aunt, T.J. Irving. And is T.J. Irving here? All right, thank you. And she's really, T.J. Irving has expressed really great pride in the community service her niece has contributed. It is an honor to introduce the recipient of the 2017 YMCA Youth Leadership Award to Libby Swedberg from Sycamore High. Libby, please come forward. Bookends here, we're going to anchor this. I hope some of this success rubs off on me. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. It's such a great honor to receive this. I'd like to apologize. I don't have an actual speech, but in my defense, I've had a crazy day. I started my day off at Sycamore High School, going to the prom assembly, where I watched my friends fake die in a fake car accident. I then ran to my second hour class, where I presented my final speech that was worth 20% of my grade. And to top it all off, during my fifth hour class while I was taking my math quiz, our intruder alert system went off. Luckily, it was a false alarm, and I get to go to school tomorrow, and I'm very excited about that. But despite all these distractions, I know what I want to say. I would like to say thank you to this community. You've really done an amazing job with the programs at the YMCA. I grew up going there. I played basketball, I played hockey, I swam for 7 years, as they said. It's an amazing community, and you guys have all inspired me. I think it's really important to acknowledge where we get our values in life, and I think the Y was definitely one of them. So I'd like to say both thank you for this award and thank you for the inspiration.
That's hard to believe she has any free time. I thought I was doing good when I joined the bowling league. She's quite an amazing youth. Seriously, I'm not surprised Libby had involvement in the Y in her formative days. Libby, our community salutes you, your commitment to making this world and this community a better place to live. Congratulations again, Libby. Direct your attention to the screens on either side, and let's see a little bit more about the YMCA's work.
It was late afternoon, and I'll never forget this, and I was to teach a yoga class that night. So I made it to the gym, but I knew that I had to keep myself together for that class.
Well, actually, when I first learned about it, nothing ran through my mind. I didn't think about it at all. What it was concerned that my mobility would change or my speech would change.
I didn't realize that I was stunned, like in a state of shock, because I really didn't know that much about Parkinson's at all.
At the time, I didn't know a lot. I knew of some people that had Parkinson's, and I could see that it dramatically affected their lives. Shortly after he was diagnosed with it, my daughter and I went to a seminar. Many people that came were Parkinson's patients. It was for Parkinson's patients and their caregivers. We were most grateful we didn't bring my husband with at that time, because it was a very sad picture to see what Parkinson's does to a person's body.
And you have fears because there's so much unknown. And there's so many people that have Parkinson's, and everybody is different.
When it affects a person's brain, which is the hub of the body, it can affect any part of the body, and different people were affected different ways.
During the day, I'm fine. You never know I had Parkinson with the medication and the exercise that I've been doing. But by the end of the night, when I'm tired, that's when you notice it.
I often went into Dave's office and would say, Dave, when are you guys going to have something for us people with Parkinson's? And we need to have something. And I wish you would really try. And then they called me and told me, guess what? We got the grant. And the grant was $27,000. And we were so thrilled. And I knew that when that happened, that was short of a miracle. That was, they'd call it knee-high to a miracle.
It started out by strictly pedaling at low RPMs, you know, the revolutions that they do when they pedal the bike. Usually between 50 and 55 is what we started out, which was a lot for them. Each week, our goal is to try to get those RPMs up to 80, because 80 has been proven to be very good for Parkinson's patients and helping with the symptoms. It doesn't take, Parkinson's away. There's no cure, but anything they can do to help the symptoms is a win-win.
I've said to many people that I don't know what we'd do without the Y here. This morning when we came, we parked in the parking lot, and it was the first time ever that I've seen him walk in the building from that parking lot around to the front and through both doors and not freeze. For a Parkinson's patient, for many of them, and he's one of them, going through doorways is particularly challenging because their minds can't think of two things at one time. Today, he walked right through that. Other times, we've had to stop and rethink. We didn't have to do any of that this morning. It was just smooth through. Nearly made me cry.
If we don't move it, we'll lose it. And that's what they say. And so when I call my doctor up and tell her that I'm having a struggle with something, she'll say, well, have you gone to the Y today? It's just bringing the positive into a negative experience. I mean, it's negative only as long as we choose to read it as negative.
What really stands out in my mind is the friends that I've made here. It makes coming here easy. We look out for each other. If I miss a time, I get an email asking me why I missed.
When I was asked if I would do pedaling for Parkinson's, it almost just seemed like a no-brainer. It just seemed like something I would really enjoy doing because I just love helping people. And I love the fact that they want to do something and not feel sorry for themselves. They don't want to sit home and just say, oh, I have Parkinson's. No, they're coming here and they're doing something about it.
I'm not going to be cured, I know that. So just make the best of it and just try to enjoy myself.
I'm pleased to say I think he's improved. And you don't hear that often when you go to a Parkinson's doctor's office visit. She was pleased, and I think we'd only been in the classes a couple of weeks. I'm just most grateful that it's here. Can't imagine living without it.
Wow. What a great story that is. Now, we've got some of the program participants from the video here in the room tonight this evening. Join me in recognizing Carol Reed and Tony Deanna. Carol, Tony, where are you? More YMCA stars on the rise. Congratulations. Now, here's a sobering thought. Did you know that DeKalb County has double the average of Parkinson's disease cases? Gives you something to think about. Did you also know that there's no charge for the pedaling for Parkinson's program? It's free. So kudos to the Y for offering the program to address that need and for making it accessible to those that need it. The Y is more than a gym. It's an organization committed to community service. So now moving on to our next award. Tonight we also recognize an emerging leader. Now this award recognizes a younger individual, and they're younger than Libby. What was Libby, 17? A younger individual in their 20s, 30s, or early 40s perhaps, who is well on their way to becoming a household name in this community for community service in DeKalb County. Please welcome to the stage Tim Suter, president of the Suter Company, and Heather Dunker, YMCA marketing director.
The Y is about helping people lead happier, healthier lives. We are fortunate that others in our community share our vision and dedicate the time and resources to lift our neighbors up when they need a helping hand.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight we're here to show our appreciation for a local emerging leader. And this award recognizes someone who's made a very significant contribution to DeKalb County through their leadership, their involvement, and their volunteerism. Tonight's winner carries on a very long family tradition of contributing to the health and well-being of this great community. Managing the operations for a thriving local business and keeping up with his 4 young children does not slow him down from his commitment to serving our community. He is a man who has not just volunteered for the short term, but has stepped up to provide board and committee support for several organizations, including the Red Cross, Kishwaukee United Way, and of course the YMCA. In fact, he is the 3rd generation of his family to serve on the YMCA board. So that's pretty interesting that this family has provided that level of commitment to the Y over the years. He supports, volunteers, and contributes to many community events and organizations and facilitates the support of the family business for worthy causes all across our great community. Our recipient tonight was nominated by Tim and Ann Lehan, and so we are very pleased to present this year's Emerging Leader Award to Jim Lehan from Lehan Drugs. Jim?
All right. Well, thank you very much for this. This is pretty personal for me, growing up here and spending a very significant portion of my childhood at the Y. I look at these videos of the kids impacted by this, the adults impacted by this, really the entire community, and I see what the Y was able to do for me. My parents, who are very hardworking people, worked a lot when I was a kid, and my dad let me tag along to his morning basketball games at the Y from the time I was a little tot, which that was my dad time. And I look at all the kids in the community and see that impact that the Y can have for them that it had for me. So I just want to thank you. Thank you for your support of the YMCA. It's a phenomenal community organization. You can see it through these videos. You can see it when you're there. Now it's my kids who are running around the Y, and we live there with the swim team now, with the 7- and 5-year-old who want to do it. So thank you so much for all the support for the Y. It's such a great, great community organization, and I can't think of a better way to spend time, even with 4 little kids. I don't have a lot of it, but the time that I do have to support an organization like this, so thank you.
Thank you, Jim, for all you do for our community. Now, please welcome to the stage Mary Rehack. She's the YMCA member. She is a YMCA member and former Live Strong for the YMCA participant. Mary Rehack.
Hi. I was really hoping for a wooden podium because then you can't see my knees shake about halfway through this. Some people will get that tonight, some people won't. Anyways, I am Mary Rehack. I'm married to Bob Rehack. Cassandra, Robert, Josh, and Brianne are our children. I am Omi to Taylor, Bobby, and Owen, and new baby on the way, hopefully in December. And then I am mother-in-law to Tara and Elizabeth Rehack. And that is who I am. In 2013, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, 3 tumors, 1 here and 2 under my arm. It was kind of devastating, but as Bob will tell you, my caregiver and my secondary caregiver, Brianne, I decided to not let that decide who I was. I knew I was going to be a breast cancer survivor, and I was determined to do it with a lot of laughter and a lot of prayer. And that's how I went into it. Now, it's always great to go into it with that type of attitude until you find out what they're going to do to you. And then you kind of go, oh, well, wait a minute, let me rethink this a little bit. So I did kind of keep that attitude, though. I tried crazy things when I had breast cancer. You know, it was going to be the first time, and hopefully, God willing, the last time, I was going to be bald. So I decided I was going to wear my bald, and I even let the people at the cancer center autograph my bald head. Because after all, I was only going to be bald once. And so I went into it with that type of attitude. I found as many things and as much as I could to laugh about. Like, for instance, do you know how much money you can save on hair products by being bald for over 9 months? I'm telling you, there's money there. And so that's my attitude. But after going through 9 months of 6 rounds of chemo, breast surgery, where my lump went from about this big to literally about that big, and they scooped it out, praise God. And then 38 rounds of radiation, and that just about killed me. I could take the chemo. The radiation was devastating. So I had 2nd and 3rd degree burns on my neck and down to here. And I could walk to our cancer center. We live off of Bethany. But I could not drive home. So Brianne would come and pick me up. And I'd lay in bed with just the sheet on. So after getting through all of that, I remember back in the very beginning, they give you so much information, and somebody had said something about this Live Strong program at the Y. Now, Bob and I have lived in the DeKalb area for 31 years, and to me, the Y, and I say this with all sincerity, were those people who got in my way as I was going to the light on Bethany and 23. Because they were always turning in there when I was on my way. And I was very upset with those people until I became one of those people. So someone had said, the Live Strong program will give you back your stamina. And I was fatigued and I was in pain. As a matter of fact, it was so bad that we have a 2-story house. And I would go downstairs in the morning, and I would not go upstairs until I had to at night. As a matter of fact, if Bob Rehack would have thrown me a pillow, I'd have stayed asleep on those stairs because I would not have had to go on up them. So I started, and Kara at the time was there, and she said, well, you'll have to come in, fill out some paperwork, and then we'll get you started. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, I went, and we filled out the paperwork. And then she told me that I would be doing exercise programs like TRX. I had no idea what TRX was, Zumba, Tai Chi. The only thing that she said that I knew about was there was a hula hoop class. And I got the hula hoop part, but the rest I was lost. And Carrie, God bless her, I know she's somewhere around here. When I was doing TRX, Bob was over there, because this program is not just offered to the people who are experiencing it, but the Y is so amazing that they offer it to your caregivers also. So Bob could go, or Brianne. And Bob went. And Bob's over there, and he's exercising, he's working his core. Me, on the other hand, I was trying to get my foot in that stirrup thing. And Carrie, I know inside, not outside, but inside, she was going, she is the most uncoordinated person I have ever worked with. She'll never strengthen her core. And she's right. I don't have a strong core. So anyways, I'm here tonight to tell you what you've already heard pretty much, but I want to reinforce it in a real heartfelt way. The Y has aquatics for people with arthritis. They have after-school programs and summer school programs for the kids. They have MS Recoup. You heard about the wonderful Pedaling for Parkinson's, which is an amazing program. But like everything that we have in our lives, it costs. And the cost can be great or can be nominal depending on our charity and what we give. And the amazing thing is when you give from your heart, and that's what I'm going to ask you to do tonight, is give from your heart. Because when you give from that place, you give more. And it's because you gave more in the past that I was able to get back on my feet and have energy. I thought it was tiring being a mother of 4 when they were young, but nothing takes your energy like cancer. And praise God, we have wonderful people in our communities that take care of us when we are ill and take care of us after we start to recover. And so I want you to, on your tables, you'll see, and I'm very excited to announce the generosity of the Bickner family because they'll match our donations tonight. Isn't that wonderful? Up to $5,000. So, you know, you can do the math. We can give more tonight by either pledging or offering our gift. So on your tables, you see that little acrylic stand over there? There's envelopes. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Go ahead. Come on. Pick them up. We got to get moving. See, I'm going to show you. See here? This is Bob and Mary Rehack's envelope. See? This is very easy. You fill it out, and then you take your check. It looks something like this. I do it that way so you can't tell how much we're giving. Then you stick it into this envelope like so. See? It's very easy. If you didn't catch it over here, I'll do it this way too. See? Okay, you got that? You got it, okay. Then you don't have to lick it, but you can. And you're sealed and signed and delivered, and you stick it back in that little acrylic stand. And a volunteer after tonight will come and pick it up. And then it goes back to the Y. And then you get to leave here. I'm going to say that again because it's important. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. You get to leave here knowing that you did something for our community that really matters, that makes a difference. Because if it wasn't for the Live Strong program, I'm not sure I'd be here. I might still be at the bottom of the steps. Bob did once say to me that he would do a fireman's carry, but I was too worried about that. We are getting old. So anyways, I want to thank you, but most importantly, I want to leave you with this one thought. My father used to say, if he knew how long he was going to live, he would have taken better care of himself. He was 87 when he passed away, and he stopped walking when he was about 82. Not because of anything, but he just stopped. He didn't go to the flag anymore and raise it at the morning. He didn't walk down to the mailbox. He just stopped. And the one thing that he said is, don't stop. And so I'm going to tell you, tomorrow I'll be at the Y by the track, and I'm going to walk with you and come and meet me. And if you're not a Y member, become a Y member. And if you want to walk and take care of yourself for the rest of your life, that's really all you have to do, 30 minutes of walking. And you get to be like this. All right. So I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. You're going to hear in just a few minutes about another Y person. And Dr. Robert, before you leave, I want you to take a little bit of the Midwest back to California. You know, California is my home. So here's a little bit of pumpkin butter and a little bit of raspberry jam, all made from my backyard. Well, I didn't make it in my backyard, I made it in my kitchen, but all grown from my backyard. And I want you to take that back home. I thank you all truly from the bottom of my heart for being here, for making a pledge and writing a check. And thank you. The Y is more than just a gym. The Y is more than just programs. The Y is the community within our community that makes us great. Thank you.
Now that's actually a very hard speech to follow up right there. You might consider emceeing this next year, Mary. Very mesmerizing speech there. Anyway, Mary, you are a shining example of what the Y works day in and day out to be so much more than, as you said, a gym. So next up for our presentation of Outstanding Community Leader Award, welcome to the stage Gary Evans from First National Bank and Charlie Irick, the YMCA CFO.
Well, after listening to Mary, we all realize that the Y is more than a gym, for sure. Very inspiring. But tonight, we honor an individual who has a long history of community support, volunteerism, advocacy, and one who means a great deal to our YMCA.
The final award this evening is our Outstanding Community Leader Award. This award honors an individual whose body of volunteer work through leadership, involvement, and community service has advanced DeKalb County in one or more of the Y's area of focus. Tonight's winner has a long, outstanding body of work in volunteer leadership in creating positive change for DeKalb County. His nominator says, his character traits of integrity, hard work, and honesty can be seen throughout his work. Most evident through is his humility. His work for our community, not for recognition or honors, but in a humble way to make DeKalb County better for all who live here. Our winner's involvement in volunteerism includes board and high-level leadership support for organizations like the VAC, the Cy Miller Foundation, the DeKalb Chamber of Commerce, and the YMCA. Additionally, his board leadership has touched the Opportunity House, Teos Humane Society, Family Service Agency, Shabbat and Lions Club, Shabbat Public Library, the Board of Health, and the Kishwaukee College Foundation. I can only imagine how many other items could be added if we went back many more years. Our recipient was nominated by our own Kathy Countryman. We are honored to present the Outstanding Community Leader to Keith Foster.
This is pretty nice, actually. Actually, what's really nice is being in this room with all these people. And it's amazing to me. I've been in the community working, practicing law for the last 38 years. And over that time, I've gotten to know so many people because of the community service that I have done. I want to thank my father, the 99-year-old in the room. He really was an excellent role model for community service. He was involved. He was the president of the Y, so I'm somewhat of a legacy in that regard. He was a president of the Salvation Army. He was involved in a lot of other organizations, and it just seemed like the right thing to do when I decided to live here in this community. I have 3 kids, 2 of whom have moved long. Well, one's in Denver, one's in Seattle. And when they come home, they say things like, "Why do you live here? There's no mountains, there's no ocean, there's nothing here. A bunch of cornfields." And that's true, but I mean, we don't have the mountains to climb and ski on and the ocean to go sailing on like they do out there. Not in Denver. But what we do have in this community is people who care about each other. And one of the reasons that I've always been comfortable being involved in community service is because of the people you meet and the people you can affect with what you do. And when I said originally or earlier that the people in this room, it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Walking in and standing out in the lobby, watching people walk in, it's amazing to me how many people I know. I mean, if I was in Denver, I wouldn't know those people, or if I was in Seattle, I wouldn't know those people. But when you think about what we do for other people in this community, we feed starving children, we take care of our animals, we take care of homeless people, we help people who have problems in their lives at certain times. There's just a myriad of things we do, and to be a part of helping people in that regard, and the animals, I love animals, it's just always a pleasure to do. And boy, you know, this week started out Monday with Meals for Moms. I think I saw a third of the people in the room there. Tomorrow night is Something for Opportunity House band together. I suspect that I'll see other people there. It was just such a pleasure for me to see all of you here. And this is a great honor, and I very much appreciate it. And I thank all of you. I thank the Y. And I'm looking forward to Dr. Watt's talk. So thank you all.
Seems like everybody has a great story to tell, and they're all very interesting. More people to recognize tonight. We're blessed to live and work in a community that truly is more. Now I'd like to introduce to you, there she is right there. We're going to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening. Welcome Dr. Amanda Friedrichs, from Radiant Dermatology, who will tell you about who our keynote speaker is. Amanda?
Really bright. So just like everyone else who's grown up in this community, I am a Y kid. Dr. Watt said, you were a Y kid too? Yeah, I'm a Y kid, and it's been instrumental in my values of who I am as a person. My parents also, just like Jim had said, worked very hard, and I spent a lot of hours at the Y. It was a pleasure for me to introduce my children to the YMCA. But what's even more important to me with the multitude of patients that I see on a daily basis is how important it is to each and every one of them on a different level. It impacts us in such a unique way, and that's the Y truly is more, because there's so many opportunities for all of us. So I'm just blessed to be here, and I'm honored to introduce Dr. Watts, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about this phenomenal man that is sitting with us tonight. So I have some cheat sheets, apologize in advance here. Dr. Watts is the founder. He's the president and chief solutions officer for Watts and Associates. He has over 30 years of experience as a keynote speaker, an author, a corporate consultant, an executive coach, as well as a university professor. His expertise as an organizational change and development consultant has enabled him to successfully lead broad-scale and single-subject interventions for a diverse clientele of small businesses all the way up to Fortune 500 companies across various industries, as well as nonprofit entities, including major colleges, universities, high schools, and charitable organizations like the YMCA. Not only that, he's the author of the following 4 acclaimed books: People Are Never the Problem, Refuse to Play the Blame Game, Development of LADS, which Learning, Assessment, Diagnosis, and Solution Model, Swim Sideways, Living and Learning Through the Strong Currents of Life and Business, and The Plastic Coated Leaf, Poems and Short Stories. He's quite prolific. In addition to that, he holds a doctoral degree in organizational psychology. He's an award-winning university professor. He's a former NFL football star for the New Orleans Saints and Oakland Raiders. He's a college football All-American and a member of the Boston College Varsity Hall of Fame for athletic excellence. Okay, it just keeps going here. This guy's pretty phenomenal. He's the recipient of the 2014 Florence Sabin Award, the 2016 IAWP Fostering Partnership Award, and was a 2017 Man of the Year nominee for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. He received the acclaimed Meritorious Performance and Professional Promise Award from the state of California. And he's been named to several college All-America teams, the East-West Shrine team, and the North-South Senior Bowl team. He holds a bachelor's degree in speech and communication from Boston College, a master's degree in speech and communication from San Francisco State University, and a doctorate degree in organizational psychology from the California School of Management, Alliant International University. But what's phenomenal about all of that is he is most proud, after all of those accomplishments, of being a cancer survivor and touching people's lives with his story of triumph over his greatest life challenge. And also being a father to 3 very wonderful children, and I learned 3 very delightful grandchildren as well. So I would like to, I think there's a video that's going to play about Dr. Watts, and I am thrilled to hear you speak. Thank you very much.
It's always your choice. And when you make the choice, you own it. It becomes yours. You possess it. What are my principles about right and wrong? What is right and wrong for me? And that creates a boundary for me in how I function in the world, how I navigate through this world, how I can help facilitate my choice making and my decision making.
Former Oakland Raider Robert Watts said that one day he ran across a group of kids just hanging out and using the pool on his vacant property. When he tried confronting them, they ran. But Watts caught up with them. He sat down and talked with them about what they were doing. He developed a relationship with the kids and helped them to improve their behavior.
I found some value in kids, and I think that these kids, because of the fact that I see the value in them, turned around at 360 from the behavior that they were exhibiting prior to me engaging them.
Watts wants us to remember there's no such thing as a bad kid, just kids without the opportunity to be good kids.
You make a decision for the weight room. You make a decision for the study hall. You make a decision to do your homework at night. Don't you ever in your life, ever underestimate the power of a decision. Maybe you don't want to be the leader, and that's okay. Step down. But it's about having courage to say that, look it in the face and deal with it. It's about being able to know where this company needs to go, this organization needs to go, where this family needs to go. So you can't turn me around. You can't deter me. You don't have enough to do that with. Because wherever you found me, I made it there. And if I wake up tomorrow, I'll make it there too. Because I'm striving to get there all the time. Hello, good evening. How you guys doing? Well, you know what? I got a surprise for you. I'm as excited as you are. You know, I'm in the midst of great people. I see the letter behind me says, why? Well, why not? You know? What do you say to a room full of people who understand the value of giving? What do you say to those people who already understand? Just like preaching to the choir, isn't it? So I do have a message for you, though. There's a lot of people who aren't here tonight. So your job is to go out and apostolize that, go out and tell those people to come here. We need to be in a room twice this size next time, 3 times, 4 times. Fill up a university stadium. Use the power of your self-agency to bring them forth. Preach to them the philosophy of the why. As I stand before you here tonight, I beseech you to do that because I'm the product of people like you. I was listening to the introduction. I was like, who is she talking about? I forget. I really do. I forget sometimes I'm this person. See, because none of you saw where I came from. Understand? We all come from someplace, right? Every person in this room has got a background and a history. And so do I. But long before any of those accolades were attached to my name, I was a poor child growing up in the South Bronx with no father, a mother, 6 siblings on welfare, shining shoes at 7, 8 years old, 42nd Street, to bring money home to my mother. You understand? But thank God there was a why. Thank God there was a haven for a child like me. So I want you to see the result of your efforts. You understand? You deserve to know the good work you do. See, I see the video of the children, but here's the grown man of 63 years old who's the product of that heart we've been hearing about tonight, that altruism, philanthropy. Those core values that you've enacted, that you share with this institution. We could talk about values. You just saw my clip. One thing is to say you have values. The other thing is to live them and to be consistent with them. Well, the why has been around a long time. You don't get to stick around that long and not live the values. Why else are you here tonight? Because you've been watching this institution and you know it stands for what it says it stands for. So you're willing to put your time and your money behind it, right? Well, here it is, all 6'3", 220 pounds of it, with the doctorate degree and the master's and bachelor's degree. But at 14, I could neither read or write. Couldn't count, couldn't tell time on a clock, right? Same guy. But when you go to places like the Y and people put their arms around you and say, hey, come on in here, son. You can play basketball here. You can swim. You can play table hockey. You can come out of the streets where your friends are dying and shooting each other and overdosing on drugs, and you could come here for as long as you want. We'll take care of you. That's where your money's going. When you're no longer on this planet, your money will still be doing that work, right? People not even born yet will be benefiting from your gift. I benefited from your gift. I have 3 children now. A man who comes from a family where no one went to college. I was the first one to go to college in my family. But because of people like you, my children went to boarding schools. You understand? You understand that? You can change in one generation with people like you. You can transform a whole family, a whole community with people like you. I got a son who just passed the state licensing exam, a clinical social worker, Berkeley University, Phi Beta Kappa. I got another son that runs a whole mental health program in California, family therapist. And I got a daughter studying to be a lactate nurse, right? I mean, How do you come from the South Bronx and you can't read and you do that? Because people like you. Because we live in America and people like you have the freedom to do what you want with your money. We have that power here to do that. So I've come to say, why? Because of you. That's why it's possible. And I've come to say thank you for helping me when you didn't even know me. You see, because true leadership understands that it's not about what you will benefit, but who you can help. I went to China recently, did some seminars over there, and I went to the Great Wall of China. Anybody here been to the Great Wall of China? Anybody? I can't see one here. Anybody else? I didn't bring my Polaroids. But I went to the Great Wall of China. What a metaphor for endurance and vision, right? But somebody thought about the why once and said, I want to be able to create an organization, or a group of people said, I want to create an organization that will be around for a long time, helping all kinds of people in spite of what their ethnicity is, right? I want to bring people together and help people. And people in China built that wall to keep enemies out. But you know, it took 250 years to build that wall. So some leader somewhere had a vision. He knew he would never see that wall completed. And every generation, each dynasty said, we're going to keep building that wall. But we won't get to see it finished. That's what leadership is. You live out the values in spite of the fact that you won't get the benefit from it. So I'm just trying to share with you who you are. If someone hasn't told you, everyone in here understands that innately. So you need to give yourself a round of applause for that. Come on. I'm recognizing all of you. Come on. I wrote a book called People Are Never the Problem. And I can't think of a group of people that best represent that. You guys really reflect the essence of that book. People are never the problem. People have problems. And when we as a species act the way you guys act in this room, then it just keeps proving it to me. Because you don't give yourself to something like this unless you understand that in your spirit. You don't know the children that are benefiting from your help. You just know they need help, right? Some of us may be acting a certain way at certain times. It may not seem worthy of someone's help, but that's who needs it the most. But I found something magical when I was working with some children in the inner city in New York City. I'd go every year and work with the kids in the neighborhood I grew up in. And some of them had a lot of problems, and we helped these children. And then, you know what? The behavior would change. Dr. Watson's coming back. Whoa. The best behavior. I want to see Dr. Watson. So I want Dr. Watson to think I'm not trying hard. And gradually, the behavior got better. So guess what I asked? I asked this question. If people are the problem, then why are the kids still there? I thought they were the problem. That's what everybody in the city was saying. Those kids are a problem. They were not even worth your time. It's an amazing thing that happens. When we solve our problems, we're still here. Well, if we were the problem, you should be gone. Don't you? Have you ever had a problem and you solved it? Were you happy? Okay, did you go looking for it? All right. You don't want to see it no more. But you're here. So we're in a young Christians organization. Jesus understood that. Let's wake up. Jesus understood that about us. They got some problems. I'm going to go down there and help them. Right? And I'm going to take the problem back with me. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to hang on that cross, and I'm going to wear it. So I can redeem these people. If we were problems, folks, trust me, he ain't showing up. He don't come and do all that for problems. Right? He came here because you were worth it. Loved you. And you understand that. And so you know when you're working with children that are suffering or people who have cancer who are suffering, you start creating programs because guess what? You identify with people. You are people yourselves. I have to remind people of that when they go, well, people are the problem. I say, well, you just trapped yourself, right? If we are problems, you don't get to pick and choose who's going to be the one. If people are the problems, then it covers all of us. So there's no better organization that I can point to than the Y in my life. I mean, the Boys Club played a role too, but the Y was the first place that I went to that said, you're worth me helping you. You have value. Come on in. We care about you. Have you eaten? Do you need socks? Do you need some gym shorts? First time an organization other than the one that I was born into in my family cared something about me. So I've come full circle tonight. It's the first time the Y's asked me to give a talk. So I feel privileged to be able to come back and tell you my story. To tell you how grateful I am for you being who you are. I was at the Gwendolyn Brooks School yesterday. Everybody familiar with that elementary school? And I went in there to work with the children. There was kindergarten in there. There's some folks in there that was with me that day, so tell me if I'm wrong, but it was kindergarten, the second grade. I think there was a third grader, fourth grader, a fifth grader. It was just a ladder there, right? And I said, okay, I got to go to work here. I thought I was dealing with sixth graders all. Yeah, I had babies in there. And I got on their level. And guess what we talked about? Etiquette. I wrote the word etiquette on the board. And within seconds, the fourth grader said, that's etiquette. Whoa. All right, I got to get scholarly, you know. And then we talked about etiquette, and I said, well, anybody know what good etiquette means? They kind of, I said, well, what about manners? Oh, then they got excited. Well, you don't put your elbows on the table. Very good. Speak nice to people. Don't be mean. Say thank you. Say you're welcome. Say you're sorry. And these are children that the development people from the Y told me are children who, you know, on the lower end of socioeconomic strata. Don't have all the means at home. Right? But the Y gets it. The Y says that don't matter. That means I got to work harder. Help these children. Those same children could answer every question I asked them. Understand? Everything I asked them, they could respond. I said, let's talk about values. So I wrote the word values on the wall. The fourth grader said, I said, anybody know what this means? And she said, profit value? Profit value? I said, what is this, UPenn? I mean, I thought I was at Dartmouth. That's product, fourth grade. Product value? So, wow, blew me away. I said, well, that's not the kind of values I'm talking about. But, wow, what grade are you in? Fourth grade. Wow, you want a job? You come back to California with me, work with me, right? But guess what? Imagine if there was no Y after school program. Imagine that. Imagine if that baby didn't have that opportunity to be having a dialogue with a doctor of psychology, to get it validated. I just watched her. Everything I did, she was on me, every move I made. She's an African-American girl. I'm an African-American man. I wonder how many times she had that experience. I wonder if we really know what gift we gave her that day. I wonder if she has a black man in her life that did that with her. Think about that. She was seeing her reflection in a prestigious position validating her. It's powerful stuff. And she was sharp as a razor. I said, my name is Dr. Robert Watts, and I wrote D-O-C-T-O-R on the board. And I said, can anybody tell me what the abbreviation of that is? I thought I was being smart. She said, a DR. Wait a minute, time out. Not only did she know the abbreviation, she knew what the abbreviation was. So she knew the word abbreviation, and she could tell me it was DR. 4th grade. Do you know that's what your money was doing? Did you have any idea that you may be cultivating somebody who's going to cure the cancer I had? You may be looking at the first female president of the United States. That's what you're doing. I want you to understand the power that you possess. I want you to understand that you're cultivating human beings, that we can change our country, we can change our world because of you and what you believe in and what you're committed to. You deserve a lot of things. That baby may not get a chance to thank you. And her and her friends that day, well, I'm thanking you for them because I know they're thankful. They had their lunches, they were eating, they were happy. That's a haven for them. So I'm just so proud of you. I'm just so proud of what the Y is doing in this community. I got goosebumps right now thinking about it because there's a little boy in me that was identifying with those children. It wasn't a 63-year-old professor. It was the little Robert Watts, the one with the holes in his pants and the cardboard in his shoes. It was that little boy that I conjured up who was having that relationship. That's why people say, wow, how can you talk to those little kids like that? I mean, you connect with children because I become one again. Because I understand where they are. I've been those children. And I released all that, posture and all that stature that I have, and I become that child again. And it's magical. It's a beautiful thing. That's all I can tell you. In the book, People Never the Problem, there's a chapter, and it's called You Are the Course, but Are You Teaching It? Okay? I like that chapter. And so I picked that chapter just for a moment because I want to encourage you to understand how to use it to advance what it is that you've been called to do. Whether you realize you've been called or not, you have been called. And you are responding to the call. But you are the course, but are you teaching? It's pretty simple. If you want people to pass your course, you got to teach it. Real simple. I was a university professor for a long time, and I've never given a final on the first day. If I did, you should walk out of that class. You should say, this guy is nuts. And it's worth 100% of your grade. The rest of the semester, we just go have pizza and watch 16mm film. That's how far back I go. But I don't do that. What I do, I don't hand out a syllabus. I hand out a survey. Beginning of every semester, I give a survey out. Tell me who you are, why you're taking this course, why is it important to you, and what do you expect from me? Because you're paying the tuition, and that's how I get paid. You're the boss. Students go, huh? That ain't how it works, is it? I say, yeah. I wouldn't have a job unless you paid your tuition. So you're my customers. I'm here to serve you. I'm a teacher. You're a learner. You paid for it. That's true, isn't it, Dr. White? Yeah, it's true. You got to hold me accountable. Okay, we got to figure this out. But in that moment, when they take that survey and give it back to me, give me the data, and I report the data back, we have a relationship now. They have ownership of this course. It is truly theirs now. And I have a job to pass their course. They've told me what they wanted from me. Now I got to pass that course. And I can tailor my course to those needs, which makes it easier for me to pass their course, and they can pass the course I'm going to teach as a result. So it becomes a process of reciprocity, building reciprocity in relationships. So as you think about your role at the Y, ask yourself this question: do I know the Y's course? Can I teach the Y's course? What is the Y's course? Well, I wrote some things down. So you know a part of the Y's course. It's all about values, really. And so what is one of the Y's main principles. To be caring. Simple. It says to care. I said to be caring. I'm gonna energize it and activate it, demonstrate it. To be caring. What would you tell people in your life that you know, who you know, how is it that they can be caring? And how by being caring, they can reflect the attitude and the spirit of the why. And as a result, gain great benefit from helping other people by caring for them. That's one of the values of the why. To be honest. Wow. I'm not surprised you're here. This institution is caring and it's honest. So what would you say to people in your community? Well, I'm associated with the why because they're honest. They have integrity. They do what they say they're going to do. I saw a guy came and speak last time, African-American guy, bald head, and knees are crickety, his ankles are crickety. He's a football player. And he used to be a white kid, and he was poor, and now he's a successful guy. And that's because somebody was honest and caring. In the South Bronx, in 1962 and 63 and 64. That's why I'm associated with the why. And to be respectful. Think about that. When I was a child and I went into the Y, I felt respected. No one mentioned that I had a hole in my shoe. No one mentioned that my pants were raggedy. No one mentioned that to me. It was invisible to them. They were focused on me. They cared about me. They respected the way I was. They were interested in me as a human being. And everybody who's walked across this stage to get an award will echo that. So that's part of the WISE course. So if you want to teach it, you got to understand that. Then there is to be responsible. I love the word responsible because the key word for me in that word is respond, right? How do we respond? Well, look around. Just take a look around. Seriously, everybody, just take a look behind you. Just take a look around. Everybody that you see has responded. They're here. That's why you know they responded. There was a call, come and support what we're doing. People responded. So when you're teaching the WISE course, you tell people, I want to be a part of this organization. I give money to it. I go to these events. I volunteer my time because the people that I associate with, we respond. We move as one unit. We get it done. Sounds a lot like a football team, right? When we all respond at the same time, we come off the line at the same time. That's called coordination and synchronization. You get a lot done when you work as a team. So that's the WISE course. And of course, the other part of it is to teach healthy lifestyles. Well, we had a cancer survivor up here earlier speaking her story. I'm a cancer survivor. Talking about eating correctly, maintaining your weight, getting your exercise. Those are nice ideas, aren't they? But let me tell you why they're so important. Of course, we all want long life. Everybody wants longevity. But you're leaders. If you showed up tonight, you're a leader. It's real simple, folks. And we need people like you to be around as long as possible. To continue to do great work that you do, to duplicate yourself in this community, to teach other people what you figured out and what's important to you. But if you don't take care of yourself and stay healthy and we lose you, can't replace you. Elders are important. I don't care what the messages we get in this country. An elder is important. I don't warehouse elders. I hang around them. I ask them questions. Until my mother left this world, until my grandmother left this world, I asked them questions. I wanted to be educated by those people. Well, we all become those people one day if we take care of ourselves. And there's no better way to take care of yourself than to take care of someone else. So I encourage you, I beseech you, to champion this cause. I also want to say to you that we can only come this way one time. What message will people share about us? Will it be the why story? I would say make that be the case. Build on your legacy by living out this vision. I'm selfishly saying that because I understand the value of it. I also want to say to you that I've written this book called The Plastic Coated Leaf. And there's 2 poems in that book that I want to share with you before I leave you tonight. One of them is about a gentleman named Mr. London, spelled like the city. So I'll set it up for you just a little bit. Mr. London was a good friend of my family's. Like I said, I didn't have a father. I never met him. He passed away in 1995, but I didn't become cognizant of who my real father was until January. Okay? So I'm 63 years old, and I just found out in January. I thought I was Robert Watts Jr., and I'm not even Robert Watts. My father's Wills, right? He's a friend of my uncle's. And my father's first cousin is Maury Wills, the baseball player. So now I talk to Maury Wills all the time. We've been on the phone every day almost. So great experience. But Mr. London was like a surrogate father to me. I don't know where to this day, my mother's passed, so I don't know where he came from. It's weird. But he was always there. Big, powerful guy. He used to be a mover. He carried, washing machine on his back. Remember the old days? The guy put a belt around it. And some of you people are too young, but you remember them days, right? The mover would come and strap it on their backs and walk down the steps with furniture. They were incredible men. And Mr. London was one of those guys. But what a gentleman he was. And he would see me in the street playing with the other kids, and he had a station wagon, and he would always roll the station wagon window down and whistle, "Robert, come over here." And he'd always go in his pocket, give me a nickel or a quarter, and a piece of double mint gum. And said, "Get out of the street. Play on the sidewalk." Sometimes he would come, "Get in the car. Going down the house to get your mother and your brothers, your sisters, and your stepfather. We're going to go get something to eat." He would take us places. Then he would disappear. One day, I heard he was sick, and then he had cancer, and he was gone. I was 10 years old. And I didn't know life without Mr. London. I bring him up because you are all Mr. Londons. You care about the heart of a child. You see somebody suffering, you want to make them feel better. Right? So I want to share this poem with you because I think you might appreciate it, and because I think you have a lot in common with Mr. London. You'll tell me afterwards, won't you? Okay. Mr. London. He was a friend of mine. His smile never quit. He glowed when he laughed, and my heart he fit. He appeared out of nowhere. We shouted with joy to hear. He had candy for us kids, a father to be near. Thank you for the candy, sir. Thank you for the smiles. Thank you for the laughter, sir. What kindness for a child. It's 10 years since he left. They put red roses all around. He's smiling down from heaven. He's standing on holy ground. He's where he's earned his place. He was loved for a little friend. He looked for nothing in return. He's smiling, I'd do it all again. Rest in peace, Mr. London. And then the last poem I would like to leave you with is in honor of all the women here who are mothers, or one day will be, because this was the last poem that I wrote to my mother for Mother's Day. May I have some water? Somebody, I should have been a bottle of water here. Okay, there it is. I am a cancer survivor, and I was listening to Mary talking about her cancer experience. and I started having a counter-transference experience about the radiation therapy because I went through 5 months of radiation. And I too had second and third degree burns around my chest and back, but I also had second degree burns and ulcers in my esophagus. So as a consequence, I don't have the saliva glands that you guys have. So sometimes I have to have a little water. I had lymphoma in the neck and the chest. So I got radiated in the face and the neck and the back. That's why those big strapping shoulders are gone. It's not the age. But God bless me, I'm here. 28 years later, here I stand. So this is my poem that I'm giving to all the women in the room. I hope that you receive it the way I intended to deliver it to you. And this poem is called Today. Today, from my seat in first class, I stared out the window and I thought of you. Today, I felt the tenderness of your love and the way you strengthened me with your courage. Today, I felt and reflected on you and how you always encouraged me to have a vision by living yours amidst the constellation of negativity, and how you blessed my ambition and coached me to stand tall under the weight of this world. Today, I thought how wonderful the world is because you are in it. I shudder to think what it would have meant to be a child without a mother like you. You stood up for me before I could stand up for myself. When my father became invisible, when I thought I was the ugliest little black boy in the world, when my body broke and professional football pushed me aside, when the fans stopped calling my name, when cancer robbed me of my innocence, when I struggled to find my way through recovery. I survived because you were in the world, because your faith in me is insurmountable. Today, I thank God for my eyesight, because I can see the most beautiful woman who has ever lived. Today, I thank God for my hearing. I so depend on hearing you tell me that you love me and that every night you pray for me. Today, I thank God for my sensitivity to touch. I meditate on the times you passed and cupped my head with your large, delicate hands. Today, I thank God for my heart, for in it, I feel you and your presence the most. Love your son. Happy Mother's Day to her and to all you beautiful women here tonight. God bless you all, and thank you.
I hope you all enjoyed Dr. Watts tonight. Thank you. I want to say we are really proud to call him one of our Y kids, that's for sure. And I would also like to thank him. He did spend some time in our community yesterday, coming to Sycamore High School and Brooks Elementary, doing some stories for the paper. And I tell you, we got no better advocate than Dr. Watts.
Uh-huh.
So we would like him to go home with a Y shirt.
Oh, wow.
And on the back it says, Ask me.
Teach your course.
Because I think you have those answers. And then we do have another gift for you to show your Y wear back in Florida.
Wow.
So
Y is still giving me stuff.
we love you. We're proud of you. We
Wow.
thank you so much for this evening.
Debbie, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you found that inspiring. I sure did, and we're so grateful. He not only came to speak to us, but he came to spend time in our community and share his story. In fact, his why story, which is pretty profound for me. So just so you know, Dr. Watts will be available for questions and book sales and signings in the front lobby immediately following my final remarks here. He has generously chosen to donate 50% of the proceeds from any sales this evening to the Y. Imagine that. This will help us meet our donor match. Next, to Dave Bavito. He served as our MC, of course, this evening. And guess what? This will be Dave's last year as our MC. I know. He's given us a wonderful... He's given us a wonderful 3 years as MC and done a wonderful job. So I'm going to invite Dave up the stage one more time. Dave, can you come on up here?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Fantastic. The last award of the night. I had no idea it was coming until I looked at the last page of my script where it says, Mark gives plaque to Dave. Dave says a few words. Thank you very much. I've had a great 3 years doing this. A lot of familiar faces I see each year that I'm here. I just briefly, very briefly, because we're at the end of the night here, just want to say that I too was a Y kid. From the age of 10 to 17, if I wasn't at school or sleeping, I was at the Y. Swimming, learning how to play basketball, and unbeknownst to me at the time, I was learning some of life's great lessons while I was playing those sports. And it's those lessons that I took with me through my life to help turn me into the person that I am today. So when I heard the theme tonight was the why is more, I thought, boy, that really strikes a chord for me. And I thank you for having me for these last 3 years. Appreciate it.
So some closing remarks. I want to say congratulations to, of course, our award recipients, Libby Swedberg, Jim Lehan, and Keith Foster. You are truly inspirational. Our award winners will also be available in the front lobby as well, should you wish to congratulate them in person. I would also like to thank Carol, Tony, Rudy, and Robin for sharing their stories in the videos that you saw tonight. And the cuties, the fruit that is, in the vases you see in front of you, and the flower centerpieces will be donated to VAC, the Voluntary Action Center, and will be delivered as a special surprise tomorrow to the Meals on Wheels participants. How about that? A big thank you to our generous sponsors who made this awards dinner possible. Of course, to Bill and his entire team at Verandas, thank you for everything. Hopefully you enjoyed the meal and the service. To Roger Kyler Photography for donating their talents again this year. Yes, donated their talents. To Upstaging for doing our stage, and NIU for doing the video and audio. Thank you to the other businesses and individuals who gave back to help this event happen on what I call the Y budget. You will find them listed in the program. And finally, thanks to all of you. I know Dr. Watts touched on it, but truly you're here, and that is inspiring to me. By being here tonight, you have shown support for the Y's cause and our belief that a strong community is possible when we work together and invest in our kids, our health, and our neighbors. The front lobby and bar will remain open for a short time should you wish to pick up a book and greet the winners. So, leave tonight inspired, knowing that our Y is more and will always be more. Have a great evening, and see you next year.